friends, it's me, your favorite teacher, because today's video is very educational in a cool way. Look at this glorious yellow fruit we all know as a banana. But a banana didn't always look like this. It was not yellow. It was not juicy. It was not sweet. It was not boneless. Before bananas were domesticated, they had a ton of big hard seeds. It wasn't as sweet. They probably dry AF too. It's probably drier than some KFC leftovers. Fun fact, bananas were actually cultivated 7,000 to 10,000 years ago. But you see, scientists, they made them more edible over time. They're like, look at this ugly old fruit. You know, one day, you could become something really beautiful and tasty without all those nasty, crusty seeds. Now we have the glorious modern day banana. A blessing. This is actually a painting from the 17th century of some fruit. That's not a watermelon, is it? Why has it got like swirly shapes in it? That looked dry too. It's barely got any of the good part. It's like 90% rinds and seeds and like 10% of the good part, but you gotta work for it. So people these days gonna look at this and be like, what? So that's what watermelons used to look like? Here's another pic. That looks horrible. There's barely any of the good part. It took like hundreds of years to get a watermelon to where it is today, and y'all can't even come up with an actual seedless watermelon. So archaeologists found watermelon seeds in a 5,000-year-old Egyptian tomb. Wait, y'all just hold on to them? Y'all don't throw them away? Imagine taking a bite of a watermelon, saving the seeds, and they're like, these are so sacred, I wish to be buried with these. This painting is almost 400 years old. It was only a few hundred years ago that they look like this. So what, I gotta wait another 100 years for watermelons to be completely boneless? Man, I ain't even gonna be around that long. I can't believe my grandkids are going to experience completely boneless watermelon. They'll never know the struggle of eating around the seeds. I mean, it's a pretty impressive glow up considering how nasty this looked before. Here, wash your eyes out with this. Oh, look at that. That's the juiciest watermelon I've ever laid my eyes on. Felt like I have to like cleanse my eyes after seeing that abomination that your colony called a watermelon. Strawberries didn't always look or taste this good. Hundreds of years ago, strawberries used to be sour and white. Or there would be like different variations.
Be careful who you make fun of in high school.
Carrots too! Top 5 favorite veggies, by the way. According to the World Carrot Museum. Dang, they got a museum for everything, huh? So carrots used to be white and purple. You know, they still have white and purple carrots these days. Eggplant probably went knocking on their door like, hey, carrots, this ain't gonna work out. We can't both be purple. People out here getting us mixed up. Oh, but get this. Eggplants,
Aubergine,
your favorite emoji, didn't used to be purple. So throughout time, they've come in several different colors. Yellow, white, orange, and the name eggplant was because they resembled an egg. Isn't that wild? Am I the only one whose mind is like getting blown right now? Like they used to be orange and carrots used to be purple, and then they just flipped the Uno reverse card on each other. I think they look more like tomatoes, but I felt like that's such a fitting name. It's like, oh, it's an eggplant. And then some places completely got rid of the eggplant name and called it aubergine, which is because the color. I was like, that's kind of stupid, calling a food by its color. But then I thought, oranges. What's next? We calling apples reds? Hey, let me get a bite of that red. You know, this is unrelated, but they've created a tree that grows 40 different kinds of fruit. I'm like, what? Like, look at the tree, it's beautiful. She looked Photoshopped. But no, so I don't know how they made like a Franken tree. Oh, so this was not genetically engineered. So they did this by grafting. So basically they took a bunch of pieces from trees and then inserted the budding branches into points on the tree base. It is a Franken tree. I don't know how it would continue to grow, but I guess it was successful. Cause now we out here, this tree laying some dummy thick fruit. You see those plums? They gonna get this video demonetized. Wow! Imagine just going to one fruit and getting like 40 different kinds of fruits. That is like the dream right there. That's super cool. So they also made a tree that produces both cherry tomatoes and potatoes, which you can actually buy. What? You telling me I can get my potatoes and tomatoes all in one place? I can make my fries and my ketchup from one tree. Science has gone too far, man. I can't believe it. Avocados were smaller with, get this, larger pits and rotted even faster. Wow. Y'all didn't come a very long way. The glow up was like enough to be like, oh wow, you did okay in life. But that's pretty disappointing. The pit is already 50% of the avocado. And once you cut that bad boy, it's gonna rot in a few hours. So I can't imagine how unfortunate avocados used to be. Oh my god, they weren't kidding. Look how big that seed is. These are tiny too. Is that like a napkin? Avocados avocados used to be like this big, and then the seed was like, this big, and then you got like one spoonful of flesh that probably wasn't even that good. That's wild, literally. I mean, I feel like they just recently started getting popular. I mean, have you eaten an avocado like 10 years ago? I think not. I most certainly had not. I don't know. I think this is super fascinating, so I'm sharing it with y'all. Smash like if you're learning stuff. Here is a diagram of a natural peach 4000 BC. So 64% of it is edible flesh, and then 36% is the seed. So it's huge. It kind of looks like a cherry. Tastes earthy, sweet, sour, and slightly salty. Ew. I don't want my fruit to be salty. That's illegal. So that was a real peach. This is the engineered peach these days. Artificial peach, if you want to call it. 90% edible flesh. That's always good. And then only 10% bone. And it's soft, and it's juicy. It's refreshing. 64 times larger. Well, how could it be 64 times larger? It's a peach is like this big. So you're telling me the old peach was like this? That's weird. I do love me a good peach though. So cornfields used to not be a thing. Yo, I used to think corn was around for like a very, 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 very long time. Like cornfields with corn chilling in their husk until someone wanted to throw it on the grill. But no, they weren't always this amazingly versatile vegetable. It used to look like this. It used to be skinny. Hello, kernel corn. It looks like a flower. But wait, that's a modern day picture. How did they know it used to look like this? So someone did their research on corn and this plant called teosint. And they had similar chromosomes, and he got this plant's kernels to pop. So automatically, it's related to corn. And he got a Nobel Prize for his research. The evolution of corn. It started out like this. Then over the decades, it started growing some kernels. And now you got this big, juicy, thick boy, who is delicious, by the way. Man, what would we do without corn? We wouldn't have tortillas. We wouldn't have popcorn. Chipotle bowls would be missing something. Celery wasn't always edible, so it started off in this plant. It looks like a wildflower, which I think most foods these days started out as. Just like inedible wild flowers, or like really disgusting wild fruit. Kind of looks like cauliflower or broccoli, and it was just very rebellious in its teenage years. Grew up to be celery. Okay. Dang, we got like most of the fruit in the grocery store on this list. Apples are next. They weren't always edible. So wild apples were native to the mountains in Kyrgyzstan. So it's small and it's sour. That's pretty much the exact opposite of the apples we eat today. The apples are sweet and large.
Like your man should be.
You know what? I've actually picked wild apples before, and they were sour. I didn't trust it. I was like, it looks like an apple, but it's not. And you know what? Sometimes, like seasonally, they sell like a bag of mini apples, but they're not that sour. They're kind of sweet. I think they're like genetically engineered apples just to be small and cute. Wild grapes are the size of blueberries. See, I could have told you that because I've come across wild grapes before, and they're tiny and they look poisonous. When I was a kid, I tried one once and it was disgusting and I spit it out. When I was a kid and I would just see fruit or anything that resembled fruit on a tree, I would eat it. I didn't care. I wanted to get a taste of nature. That's what I did. I don't think I ever got sick because if I didn't like it, I would spit it out right away. And then I'd like, what is it when you like hold out your tongue and pour water over it? Like, spring water, cleanse me of my sins. Oh, so a cabbage back in the day was like weeds. You know, like that bed that dandelions would grow out of? So basically this grew up to be this. Okay, so what have we learned today? All fruits and veggies used to be like wildflowers. Just like dogs used to be wild animals. Cucumbers used to look like watermelons, like mini watermelons. Whoa, what went wrong? What happened? It's like throughout time, fruits and veggies were like, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. I don't know what I want to look like. Take this as a really corny metaphor for life. It's like, you see, well, these fruits and veggies look like hundreds or thousands of years ago, and then what they grew up to be. And they're also beautiful and delicious. And not everybody is gonna like cucumbers. I love cucumbers, but there will be people who love you, people who hate you. You can start out life completely inedible and then grow up to be something delicious. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Even tomatoes, they weren't always so ripe and juicy. They used to grow on a tree in little red berry-like things. This is wild. So they used to be cherry tomatoes, and now they're full-grown tomatoes, but we still got the cherry tomatoes. I'm just kidding. Those look inedible. So ancient tomatoes were smaller, darker, and look more like a berry. So people used to not eat it because they thought it looked like the deadly nightshade, which is an inedible plant. It's like that Lana Del Rey song.
He used to call me Dean. Stood for deadly nightshade. Cause I was filled with poison, just like the plant.
Now you know what she's talking about. This one isn't a fruit or veggie, but wedding cakes didn't always used to look like this. Back in the day, they used to look like scones. Cakes weren't fancy with like frosting or anything. It was literally just like bread, and they would use like raisins and fruit to sweeten them. You know what? I love scones. I prefer a scone to a cake. They're like less sugary and sweet, and when they were eating cake throughout history, it was this. But anyways, that's all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button. If you guys learned something new, comment below which food had the best glow up. And make sure you turn on notifications. Click, click. And make sure you subscribe to join the wolf pack. Oh! I love you guys so much. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.